Hello, people, and watch me fade in and out on the camera because that focused on my hand or something. I don't know. I was blurry for a second.
Okay for me. I
Uh,
thought
or maybe I'm just going blind. Anyway,
uh, maybe I am.
maybe I am. Maybe we all are. And welcome to another fine episode of Who's an Anime, where we're accusing people of being blind or going blind, which I hear
Yeah.
is a really scary process because your
Yeah.
brain starts to make up like goddamn images to go, I used to be able to see. Let's make this thing like a weird dragon thing. And you're going, oh shit.
Oh, my dad had cataracts in both eyes.
Oh god. I think he got it cured somehow. Can you cure it?
Oh yeah, yeah. They like take out the lens and put a new lens in. So
That sounds painful and horrible.
yeah, they have to numb your eye, and they do that by injecting something into your eye, and then they remove the lens with acid
It might be some,
that
yeah,
burns the lens away, and then
possibly.
once that's gone, they inject a new lens.
I am not a medical person, and I cannot tell you medical procedures for I have not looked into any of them, for I know they would scare the shit out of me.
It
Also,
does great.
aren't you meant to be awake for that?
Oh yeah, he was for both.
Yeah, yeah, you need to be awake.
The great
Cataracts.
as he was reminding me was is that once they destroy the lens, you can't see anything anyway. So
Oh yeah. It sounds like you took it nice and calm.
yeah, it'd be better than I took it.
It'd be like that scene in Dead Space 2 where the guy you got to get the big injection into the eye. 'Cause that was a nice scene. I liked that scene.
That sure was. Yeah, it's great. I
Yeah.
think it'd be like that scene of Doc Ock waking up in Spider-Man 2 and just murdering all the doctors.
Is that what you would do
I did like
with a numb
uncontrollable.
eye?
Yeah, I just I don't want it. I don't want it. Make it stop.
Yeah. Um. Anyway, on that note, we're actually talking about Steins Gate this week.
We are
Yeah.
episodes 15 and 16.
Yeah. Time traveling to the max.
Yep, we're now into that latter half, properly into the latter half of the show. I seem to
That's
think.
right. Yeah, yeah. It's getting to the point where everything makes more sense.
Yeah, it's certainly less mysterious.
Less mysterious.
It was quite difficult to discern what was actually happening in the first 3 episodes. 'Cause it's like I don't know where people are, when they are, why they are. I'm just gonna watch.
Yeah, you kind of just got to go through the first couple episodes and go, it's kind of weird. That's cool. Oh, and the protagonist is a complete utter prick.
Yeah, yeah, that was pretty much my initial thinking. Um,
And you got to watch
it
past all that.
Yeah, it's getting better. Well, I know we're on camera only for some, but and I'm in my new chair. Look,
Yeah, you got your secret lab cushion and the
it's a
chair.
magnet.
It's a magnet, so you can stick that on a radiator.
Yeah,
And nice.
Beth.
That's pretty good, man.
Yeah, it's exciting. And all of a sudden, like it's funny because I was saying to my other half, it's like, my back's quite sore today, and she's like, didn't you just get your new chair? And I'm like, yeah, I think it's fixing my posture. It's just been so broken for the last 2 years sitting at my desk at home.
Oh man, yeah. You know, I was reading the posts and saying how you can fix your posture, and many people have stated what you want to try and do is pretend that your nipples are shooting laser beams and you got to shoot people in the eyes or something.
Huh.
I mean, they're Reddit posts, so you know they're full on accurate.
Yeah, they sure are. What?
Like, so you gotta have your nipples like, and then make them shoot people in the face or something. I might have
Huh.
take it to the concept too far, but pretend to have your nipples shooting lasers
I see.
and
I
shooting other
see.
people.
Interesting. Okay. I mean, I guess
Yeah,
you just like say, just keep your back straight.
yeah. Keep your back straight and shoot people with lasers in your nipples.
Yeah, you said that. I still still struggling with that.
this
Fair
this is
enough.
the thing
Yeah.
I didn't read. It's one of those
Fair
YouTube
enough.
shorts where it's just like, how is it? What's the weirdest thing that you know type thing? And like, oh, you do
Oh,
this.
is it stitch this with the fact that blah 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 trend?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, there was one about the number of playing cards you have. 52 playing cards, and if you shuffle them because it's factorial, so 52 times 51 times 50 times 49 times 48 would be the number you would eventually get the total number of combinations.
Alright.
And because there are so many, there are, I think, more than the number of atoms in the universe or some stupid thing like that. I don't know. It seems fundamentally ridiculous, and I don't know how to believe it. But one thing it did say was the idea that chances are, if you're shuffling a deck of cards, that combination of cards has likely never been seen before.
Then how do all the magicians draw the right card out of the pile?
Because they cheat. That's the whole point, no?
What do you mean they don't cheat? It's all magic, man. That's not cheating.
Uh, I don't know.
It's like
I'm not sure.
what they say about IPv6 addresses.
Oh, that they exist.
Yeah, they exist. They're a bit of a phantom. No one's really picked them up yet.
To be for those, I suppose that isn't something we've discussed in the show. Is you and I know each other from having worked in a technical job before years ago, 14 years ago actually now.
Yes, many years ago.
But the interesting thing I find about that is that during my time there, and I left uh, in 2010, so 12 years ago, they were talking about the switch over to IPv6.
Yeah, it's still happening.
which is still not happened.
Yeah, I mean, technically,
Some things support it.
yeah, they're kind of moving towards it. Like probably the core backends are probably are on it rather than what you'll see.
Yeah, that's fair. Also,
Because
I understand that the rate of like running out of IPs, IPv4 stuff like started declining. So like all of a sudden there were more available because they were being reused.
uh,
So
yeah, we also kind of sorted out that network issue, but um, we're still obviously got a very limited number of IPv4s, and I'm assuming certain things will move to IPv6 to allow these other ones to get used.
yeah.
Um, I know that BT's stockpile was running out quite quickly, from what I was hearing,
Mm,
for their static IPs. Uh,
man.
but yeah, IPv6. Apparently, there's address for every particle of sand in on Earth.
There
Goes
you
into
go. And
petabytes or pepper.
Petabytes. 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 Let's say
Yeah,
petabytes.
not bytes, but like peta amount. So
Well, I saw that Western Digital have started testing their 22 and 26 terabyte hard drives.
oh Jesus, man! Wonder how much they cost.
Enough that you'll never see one.
Yeah, I wouldn't put it past the guy at work. I know. What did he buy? He bought 16 hard drives.
My God.
Well, I don't know what he does, but all I know, I assume it's very illegal.
Well, let's just say it sounds like he maybe runs a private Plex server that he sells access to.
Well, let's say it might be that, yeah. I don't know exactly what it is, but it certainly has a server and his house has things. There you go, storage upgrade. No, no, it's 16 terabyte drives.
There you go. That would cost, I want to say, maybe in the region of 3 grand.
I don't know. I don't know if you actually ever
The Iron
mentioned
Wolves
Iron Wolves. Western Digitals.
or the Western Digital.
Yeah.
Probably Reds then.
WD Gold.
Oh, WD Gold.
Yeah. Ultra Center hard drive. I'll just
Let's
look at the
play the
picture.
game.
Play the game. Do you want the make, the model number?
Is it 7200 RPMs?
Yes, I'll say there'll be 7200 RPMs.
Six gigabyte throughput.
Uh, Possibly. The picture he showed is them in their static bag, so I don't see all the details.
It's fine. Either way, either way, I'm going to suggest that that is about £300 per hard drive.
Yeah,
Is nearly 2 grand.
yeah, WD161KRYZ.
Oh, WD
1
101
161
WD 161 KRYZ.
KRYZ.
Oh shit! Nope, I was wrong. My original estimate was closer.
How much?
£429 per drive.
You know, only the best for the best.
Fuck.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, so I really don't know why you need anything like that.
Well, why any individual would require, and I quote, specifically designed for use in enterprise class storage systems and data centers.
Yes. Oh, I would. I kind of understand that in the sense that he likes his setups. He's like got switches and stuff.
Designed to handle workloads of up to 550 terabytes per year.
Yeah. Ah. Anyway,
Fuck.
weird, weird world of people and what their hobbies are.
Oh shit. Actually, you could get 18 terabytes for only £1 more per drive.
Yeah, but are they WD Gold?
They are.
Oh man, he's missed out a trick.
Yeah.
He could have at least
Shit.
another. Oh,
That was another 36 terabytes he could have had there for £6.
yeah. Wait, how much? How much bigger?
2 terabytes.
2 terabytes bigger, so that'd be 18. Yeah. So you'd have another 12 terabytes on top of the 16.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. Anyway,
Yeah.
there you go. That's a life of interesting life that we both lead. No one in your workforce does anything like that.
I don't know. I don't really know people in my new job enough yet.
That is true. You did
The
tell me
old
your job.
one, I don't think there was anyone that was quite that mental.
It's good to know that you think he's mental. Anyway,
Well, particularly with the electrical consumption being what it will be now.
yes, just lives up the road from me.
He's definitely getting paid for something.
He must be like. He must be.
There's no other logical explanation. Like he has to be, right? Like
Well, he is in a higher pay grade than me at the moment. Just
just
yeah,
enough to get crazy drives.
not that he needs the crazy drives. Yeah. Anyway, yeah.
So, moving on. Episode 15. What's it called, Colin? For me, Missing Link Necrosis.
Missing link necrosis. For me, it is missing link necrosis.
Holy shit. We finally got one. Only
Bingo.
15 episodes in. House. We did it.
House. No,
We did it.
Hugh Laurie's not here.
Ugh. Join us for that podcast. I totally do a podcast on House.
I never actually watched all of it.
It's real good, man. It's real good. Every episode's the same, but it's real good.
Well, he struggles and ponders and gets really high on drugs, and then comes up with like a
Well,
weird ass strategy and going, it's it's this, it's this
here's the
random.
template. The template for every episode. Person looks as if they're about to be sick and die, and then a person around them who didn't look as if they were going to be sick and die collapses or whatever. So, not the person you thought was going to be sick is sick. Great start. They get brought to the hospital, and the only person who wants to deal with them is House, because the people who have dealt with them have been like, nah, there's nothing wrong with you. Everything's going to be okay. And then they're like, nah, I don't believe that. And House is like, no, something's up with this one. I'm going to take this case. And then he's like, it's this thing. And then medicates them for it. And they kind of get better, but then they get a lot worse. And then he's like, oh, no. And then he like medicates them again. And then it's not that. And it like gets worse and worse. And then he's like, has an epiphany because something happens randomly and goes, it was this rare fucking thing that no one's ever had before. It was totally this. It was pajama disease. And yeah, only ever 3 documented cases in sort of the Democratic Republic of Congo between 1903 and 1907, but it's totally this, and then they get better.
That's fair. That sounds about right.
And I love every minute of it. It's so good.
Also, the fact that he got the part because they wanted an American,
Yep.
and he's bona fide English.
He's as English as they come.
Is he English?
Yeah,
No, Scottish. Who knows?
I don't think so. Pretty sure he's English.
He might be English.
Yeah,
Hugh Laurie,
yeah,
Stephen Fry.
yeah. He's English. He was born in Oxfordshire. There you go.
Oh, could be any more English.
Nope. Also, of course, went to Cambridge.
Ooh, from Oxford.
Yeah, I think
That's
Stephen
how.
Fry also went to Cambridge. So
Yeah, that's how they met. They were in some club
yeah.
together, and then did a skit, I believe. And the BBC was looking for new comedy sketches and pulled them in, just like Rick Mail and all that.
Rick Mail.
What's his name? Ah, Blackadder man.
Oh, Ben Elton.
Oh, he's the writer, but the
Oh, Ron Atkinson.
yeah, I'm pretty sure they
You mean
pulled him.
actually Blackadder?
Yeah. Yeah, the man is actually Blackadder, and not the writer of the shows.
Oh my god.
That's,
Okay, right. We've now talked nothing about anime for 20 minutes. We need to do this.
that's what sounds better like a quota.
This has been so rambly. Uh, so, previous episode, we ended on the bombshell that Suzuha is actually from the year 2036.
Mhm.
She came back to the past via a time machine
Mhm.
that is actually now lodged in that building that we noticed at the start that everyone thinks is a satellite, and it
Mhm.
is not. Um, so yeah, and also on top of that being quite a dramatic reveal as it was enough, it turns out she's also John Teeter.
Yes, she's been posted under the handle John Teeter
Yep,
because, as we'll discuss later on, because this episode here obviously start there at the time machine, and she goes and basically discuss how CERN controls everything in the future, and
yep,
uh, and she was part of a resistance group to defeat CERN, but she realizes she had to go back to the past to stop it all from
yep.
starting. You know, classic time traveling mechanics.
She'd originally planned to go back to 1975 though
Yeah.
to acquire the IBN 5100.
Yes.
Um, and I can't remember if is it at this point where she's talking about the resistance,
Mhm.
and does she mention who the leader is at this point, or is that later on? I can't remember if that's a part of this kind of, I say flashback. It's actually a flash forward. Um,
It's a flashback in her mind, in the
yeah,
past for
it's true.
her. Uh,
Oh, it's in her past and in her future.
yeah, weirdness. I think it might be. Just ramble on about it, and there, yeah, I think it is this point where they talk about it, and it's like, ah, yes, and you're the leader of the group. No,
Yep,
maybe,
it's you.
yeah,
I've never met you,
yeah,
but you know, it's you. You're the one.
yeah, yeah,
Um,
and also she reveals uh why she doesn't like Carissa because she's the
oh yes, because she's the head of CERN, or like high up in CERN.
yeah the grandmother of time travel. I,
Yes,
I believe is her thing, and they're both dead in the future.
yes. Whatever happens, it seems that Carissa and Okabe had a bit of a divergence of heart at a certain point.
Yeah, entirely changed ways. Uh, so she goes into the time machine and basically goes, "Right, bitches, I'll catch you all later.
Peace. I'm out.
Peace, peace out." And they're like, "You can't be doing
Gotta go
this
and
now."
finish the rest of my mission. Yeah.
Yeah. No, my mission is to get this thing to you so you can do your stuff. Um, and then she finds out the time machine's broken,
Yep.
and then
And
they,
it was because it was a storm, right? Because there was a
yeah,
storm.
on the night
Uh,
on the night she's
yeah,
meant to
because it
leave.
was the night that. That's right. Yeah, because her and Okabe had the whole thing where they were talking to each other, and she was going to leave, and he convinced her not to go, and then there was the storm,
Hmm.
and
Well,
then that damaged. They think that damaged the time machine.
yeah. Um, and then so then there's police come into the building and go, "Hey, is anyone here?" And then Okabe does his mad scientist larking and go, "Ha ha! It's I, Hojin Kami." Oh, also, forgot to mention that they had like the wee like tussle about, oh, so you were the Kazumi Kamehameha person who's speaking to John Teeter on the forums,
Yes, that's right.
and it's like, shut up. and then and then he said, well, you know, I didn't hide my identity, and they were like, yeah, we know. It was
Yeah,
Ocean.
we know.
Yeah. Uh,
We knew who the fuck you were by what you were saying.
yeah. And I think is at this point they also she mentions that what do you think is the problem is when Okabe sends their first original message. That Saren picked up on that.
Yes, that's where. Well, yeah, the divergence was large enough with the first message. It seems because it caused a significant shift, right? Because
Yeah.
obviously Carissa was dead, and then she wasn't.
Yeah.
And the thing that I find fascinating about that, though, that we should talk about now,
Uh-huh.
is Carissa is responsible. She's the grandmother of time travel.
Uh-huh.
Her and Okabe's fighting causes the need for a resistance to fight CERN's totalitarian future.
Yep.
Um, a totalitarian future in which Suzuha
Uh-huh.
goes back in time
Mhm.
to a time where I'm going to presume Suzuha murders Carissa. Maybe.
Susa murders Carissa.
Well, the time machine is smashed into the building, right?
Yeah.
Before the time shift.
All right. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah.
So Suzuha is there in a time where Carissa is alive and then dies.
No. No. Because this is the whole branching thing. Uh,
Is the time machine not there when Carissa's dead?
time machine is there when Chris is dead. It lands successfully on the building.
So that's okay
But
then.
yeah. And then, but when Okabe says the text message and causes the first diversion in time, it then appears in the building, but no one's going to be there because the talk got cancelled prior.
Oh yeah. That's fine. But what my point is though is that Suzuha comes back. She says to the 2010 to find her father.
Yeah,
I kind of don't buy it.
you don't buy that. All right.
No, I mean maybe a little bit, but also somebody fucking killed Carissa,
Oh, yeah, someone did.
and Suzuha certainly was there in that time space at that time. But what is even more interesting to that
Uh-huh.
is that the time shift didn't change the fact that she'd gone back in time. Instead, it changed.
How? How she
Yeah,
learned?
like it's interesting.
It's yeah, it's a weird.
Successful murder though. Somebody did.
Yeah,
Maybe Suzuha.
seems that way.
It's just the first time I really thought about it. Is all.
Okay, well that's fine. Unfortunately I know that.
I know. I know you do. I don't want you to tell me.
Not planned to.
I just like it. It just as we were talking about it there, it just occurred to me that it's like, oh well, wait a minute.
Maybe she is
The whole
did come.
the big divergence was the fact that Carissa was dead and then she wasn't. It was when you mentioned the fact that that's when CERN figured things out, like oh somebody's
Yeah,
doing something,
yeah,
was because of the big shift that he'd created by sending that first email.
yeah. I mean, one thing that I'm annoyed with most murder mystery programs like Taggart or Harley Morse, which is another British
Fuck yeah,
murder mystery, or Vera.
Morse. Morse is awesome.
Yeah, they all of them, all bring in like the last piece in the last like part after the Arverts. It's like, wait, what about this guy? What do you mean that guy? We never talked about that guy in entire like 2 hours before this point.
Oh no, Colin, are you telling you telling me that the culprit is someone that doesn't exist until the last episode?
Sorrow, yeah.
Oh, That's disappointing. Anyway, I
Well,
won't. I won't go too much more into it. The point being is, though, is it didn't occur to me how big the shift was until I rethought about it, because it was the whole thing that was surprising to Okabe was the fact that Carissa was dead and then she wasn't dead.
yeah, I mean that's
So
a big
it's a pretty
shift,
big
man.
surprise.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was huge, and like you say, enough for CERN to take notice that holy shit, someone is messing about with time travel.
yeah,
Uh, so yeah, I think that is it's quite interesting. So they she obviously try like you said, she tries to start the time machine. It's broken.
mhm.
Okabe realizes it's kind of his fault, probably, maybe.
Yeah.
Uh,
Also, should say that the time machine was left to her by her father, as all
yes,
good people in the future have a father leaving a time machine.
but not only did he leave it to her, he had built it.
Yeah,
It
also
was
built it. Yeah,
his time machine. Yeah,
yeah.
like uh, so yeah. Uh, Now I think we get back into sort of a bit of time leaping fun, don't we? After
Um,
they run away.
yeah, because they realize because he's running away, and then they bump into Mayuri. Uh, what's his name? Doru.
Daru,
Daru. I keep want to call him Daru now.
Doraemon.
Doraemon. Anyway, Daru. Yeah, and basically they go. What? I told you not to throw a party. Oh no, but she can't uncancelled it. It's like, no, 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 don't do that. And Carissa is like, yeah, yeah, no, don't worry. We got some big shit to do. So you go run away. And then they're
Yeah, because
watching it.
Mayuri is very upset.
Yeah, and then she's wandering away, waving, be good, and all that. And then you hear
Yep,
someone overstating, oh, there's been a bomb threat. And he looks at his
yep,
time and is like, oh shit, she's got about an hour left.
yup,
And then, so they go, well, you know what we do? We'll send you back to the point where we built this thing, and then send you back again, because it only goes back in 40 hours. As soon as we built that thing to the to 2 days of
yep,
prior, and then he goes and summons everyone and explains the shit that's happening by basically going, "Yo, let's go and show you the time machine that's actually crashed into this building now." There wasn't any
yep.
discussion to them as such. They just went, "Oh shit."
Yeah, that's a good point. They just kind of were like after Carissa putting up such a what time travel? That doesn't seem right. I don't believe this, even though I told you I'd believe it. I don't believe this. And then this time it's like, so there's a thing, and it's the time machine stuck in the building. Oh, we should go and look at that. Wait, what? Okay. Yeah,
Oh,
just
it's more that he says, "I got something to show you." He
yeah.
doesn't actually explain what it is until they get there, but then they
No,
kind of
that's true.
realize.
But once they're there, though,
I think
they're just
he,
like, yeah.
yeah. And Dario calls her Suza future girl.
He does.
Yeah.
He does.
Um,
Instead of part-time girl.
yeah. Well, I don't think Dario ever called her part time girl.
No.
I think that was just Okabe. Um, so Dario's there to fix the time machine because he's the man
Yep.
that can.
I mean, if anyone can, it probably will be him, right?
Yeah, he's says, "Oh wow, looking at this kind of reminds me of the phone wave." It's like what? Looks nothing like the
Yep.
phone wave.
Yeah, I suppose like in theory I was thinking about it at the time and it's like I suppose it does make sense because like obviously their discovery of what they're doing right now is like the inflection point to time travel. So whatever rudimentary way they built theirs with, it
Mhm.
seems logical that even the time machines they're using years from then are ones that have some sort of familiarity or sorry similarity to the ones that they'd made. So
Yeah,
made sense.
it's about 26 years. Depends how long the time machine was lying there. Anyway,
Yeah.
so he and Suda stay behind while the rest of them. Well, Chris has got to go and make the actual time leap device
Yes.
so he
Yes,
can.
because that still needs to happen.
Yeah, that still needs to happen.
Yeah.
And then Okabe and Mayuri. Well, Mayuri goes, "Ah, we we kept you behind, so you can find your father. We're going to help you find your father." And then they spend the next 2 days doing it. It's like the only thing that he's left behind is this pin,
Yep.
and it's like, okay,
Yeah. It's this is weird. I think is at this point I can't remember if it's at this point where Suzuha gives Okabe the divergence meter that she showed before.
uh,
I'm sure that happens in this episode. I just can't remember.
yeah, I think she does, and like, you have this after all, you're the inventor of it, type thing.
After all, you built this.
Yeah,
Huh.
yeah,
Great.
yeah.
Uh, yeah. Oh, actually, you know what? We've got it. I've remembered now. She says you made the thing. This is you, so you have it, and also this is where she explains about him being the founder of the resistance.
All right.
So it's yeah, she does the whole spiel at the start, uh, and then yeah, like the reveal sort of partway through the episode is like, oh yeah, and also by the way, you're the leader.
Yeah, I've never met you. No one's met
I've
you,
never met you, but
but
yeah,
you're the leader.
yeah, but
Yeah,
you're the leader for sure.
and it's
Uh,
currently sitting at 0.3 something
yeah,
313 or something.
yeah, it's got to get to one that magic 1% basically,
Yeah, yeah,
and
uh,
every change they want to try and make wants to try and push that number higher and higher
yeah.
essentially.
Higher and higher.
But yeah, they go out and look for Suzuha's father. Uh, is this the one where he speaks to the dude?
Oh yeah, it's very racist. Dude, in the
Yeah,
back alley,
yeah, that's right.
he breaks down
He's
jive
he starts talking jive to the guy. It just
because
immediately reminded me of the old woman who talks jive in Airplane.
oh yeah, I think I mean that's what it was. It's like, don't
But you
worry,
know
right?
a lot more. Oh no, that's
Well,
not so good. Please stop that.
I mean, literally, the guys there was you know dark skin and wearing the glasses and stuff.
But speaking perfectly good English, to be clear, as
Oh
well.
yeah, yeah. He speaks perfectly Japanese. In fact, Okami just starts speaking jive to him for no other reason than
For no, yeah, for quote, no reason.
no reason. There's no reason for it. It's not like,
No,
hey,
he's
dude.
definitely not stereotyping an entire race at
Yeah,
all.
no.
Uh,
And the guy just politely goes, "Sorry, mate, I don't speak jive."
I love that. There's the best possible response was just to be like, nah.
He then,
That's it's not me, my guy.
yeah, yeah, I don't
That was real
understand.
good.
Uh,
That was real good.
and then Suza was like, "I can't believe you said that."
Yeah.
It's like, yeah,
Yeah.
what the fuck? It was like, oh right, do you know if anyone's made this pin? I was like, nah. Give us a call if you do though. All right,
Yeah.
cool. And then they bump into Mayuri, who is handing out leaflets.
Oh,
Going,
oh
I
my
had a
god,
brainwave.
this is the greatest thing in the entire world, and I absolutely love it. Is oh, what is it like? We just start talking about a kidnapped child, and
Yeah,
just gonna hand out these leaflets. It's like I no, you can't do that. Don't do that. Why would you do that? Please stop. Uh, and it's just the unfolding of it. Where is it like Carissa comes up to them and is like,
no,
oh,
no,
is it
it's So what happens is they're doing it, and they fall. It goes, "Hey, Okabe, look what I'm doing. This is a great idea. Just keen to me."
Yep.
And I got the markers out,
Stop.
and they're like, "All right,
Stop.
well, let's maybe not do that and run past your ideas for me from now on."
Yeah. In future, if you ever have an idea, please let me know.
Yeah, pretty much. And then
I'm not saying your ideas are bad. I'm just saying that potentially you are putting everyone in danger by doing what you're doing. Is what I'm saying.
yeah. Anyway, so some random person is who picked up one of these leaflets is now talking to the cops and points in
Oh,
their
it's so good.
direction, and
It's so good.
then they'll could be like, "Scarper, leg
Yep.
it," and then the
But
next
wait,
thing,
who is it they meet? Who is it they meet after? That's like, did you hear about like the missing girl?
yeah, that is Carissa. She comes with
It is
some snacks
Carissa.
in
Yeah.
the well, they're in the park and he's out of breath. They've been running for like the last 6 hours or
Oh.
something, and she's like,
Oh God, it's so good.
"Hey, Susan, sorry to be one to bring this up to you, but I heard some people talking, and it sounds like the guy with your badge is a kidnapper."
Child kidnapper. Oh my God.
I don't think they said child. It was just a kidnapper, man.
Was it just a kidnapping? Oh, it's
Yeah,
just so
yeah.
good
You're just
though.
putting an unnecessary
I'm
twist
just
on it.
I'm making it worse.
Yeah,
Making
you're
it much
making it
worse.
worse. And then they burst out laughing.
Oh, it's so good.
Should also mention that uh, Chris basically does a spiel of going, "Is that why you hate me?" type thing. You know, we're both in it
Yeah.
together at the moment. Come on, trust me.
You could like me for now when
Yeah,
when I'm not a bad person, even though I don't know if I will be a bad person because this is who knows what this timeline is now.
yeah.
Like
Well,
obviously she's still come back, so like there's a reason, but she must be like she could potentially be different, right?
I'm no. I think in this timeline that is the way Susa meets because she doesn't going through. She's just going through timelines in a serial way than leaping from line to line. She's coming back.
Yeah,
It's not a parallel line, but
but she
I
has gone across.
no,
No,
she's only going across because of
the
Okabe.
D-mail. Yeah, yeah,
So she's
that wasn't
jumped.
intentional.
Yeah, but she's not. This version of Suza is the one is from that timeline.
Yes.
So she hasn't.
Wait, why would it be?
Why wouldn't it be?
Well, why would it be?
Because she's like back in time.
But Okabe, when you send a D-mail,
Yeah, and she
only
hasn't made.
one person goes back.
No, no. He it's only him that remembers the shit
Yeah. So
because he has the ability to remember the changes in the timeline
yeah, yeah,
where
yeah,
no one
yeah.
else does. And she's just coming back in a time machine, which doesn't really impact the timeline as such. She's just coming back into the time because it's all meant to happen. I
Yeah,
think.
yeah. But
So
it's the D-mail that makes the big shift.
it's yes. So there is certain things that will happen where I think she comes back and then it'll shift, but she won't remember the shift and the difference between her world and that
No,
world.
which okay, so that's fine. But my point is that
Are we just breaking the time
well, no,
thinking here?
my question, I suppose my question would be then is that if regardless of what the future will be,
Uh-huh.
because she was on a timeline and came back and then got shifted across,
Oh,
right? In theory, that's what's happened. On she's on line A in
uh-huh.
2036
Uh-huh.
and comes back to 2010
Uh-huh.
on line A,
Uh-huh.
but then when the D-mail gets sent, she gets shifted across to 2010 on line B
I don't think
because
she
it's a
gets
divergence.
I don't think she gets shifted across as
But she
such.
has to, right?
I
No?
just think it's kind of happens. The way I understand it is that it's Okabe. It's getting shifted across lines,
But that was my original point.
but he's not shifting anyone else across. They just so happens that they're
To be there
still
anyway?
yeah. Because the way I would see it is the timeline is kind of running parallel, and he's just kind of jumped over. Only that's kind of not the way they're
Yeah,
describing it in the anime.
the point is he remembers the change, right?
Yeah, he understands
Okay.
the shift. So I think she's still
And in
kind of
timeline B, she's still sent back
yeah,
because of thing.
yeah,
Okay. I guess I was envisioning a thing where she's been forced into a new timeline, even though she may have never needed to come back from that same timeline. If you get what I mean.
yeah. I know. I I think timeline. I think it's essentially that she's always coming back because that's kind of how the timeline is working. In a sense,
Right.
there'll be like
I mean, that's fine.
a bigger
That's fine.
diversion. I think would mean that maybe she would never come back.
Because no one's technically being shifted.
Yeah,
It's just that things change, although
yeah, that Monica thing.
they have to change, though, right?
Something's changed.
Like, well,
The shifting
if the
across.
if the divergence happens and Okabe doesn't remember,
Hmm.
things just happen anyway, right?
Yeah,
So what's the consequence of him remembering? Nothing.
nothing. Just that he knows that nothing's quite right,
Okay.
and he can, since he remembers, I suppose
He
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 could
can try and
potentially.
deviate back to the norm if he wants.
Yeah, I think.
So there's the thing, though, is that potentially the divergence that they could do could lockstep them back to the previous timeline, right?
Yeah,
But at that point, Carissa's dead.
yeah. She dies at
Right.
that point. So
Okay.
it's kind
Okay.
of like throwing the air of like Mayuri dying or Krista dying. He's at the moment choosing
Or
Mayuri
potentially a third option.
potentially. Anyway,
Okay, so
so
yeah, you're right.
just that.
They've been looking for. Yeah, they
Yeah,
joke about the fact that her father might have been a kidnapper. Turns out, no, he wasn't. That was just vicious lies and slander that were created by Mayuri.
yeah, yeah. And then uh, try and work out when this episode ends.
I think does it not end on him getting the phone call about the lead from the guy making a phone call? Does that happen here?
Yeah,
I think I for some reason that's the way I remember it is he get like he's talking to Suzuha and he gets a phone call and the phone call is from the guy he was speaking jive to. And
yeah,
he's like, fucking stand still, I'll be there as quick as I can. And he bombs it. I like that's where I remember. And then I think the next one picks up from him talking to that guy about who it might be.
yeah. Or or
Or does it end with him talking about the guy?
the next one. There seems to be a lot of talking about because she goes back in time.
Right. I feel like maybe the best thing to do here is stop this, move on to the next one.
Yeah, that's sure. I'm trying to
How
think.
do you rate this one, Colin?
It's fun. It's intriguing. I think
Fair
I
enough.
don't know. I think it's probably an 8.
Yep, that's about
Yeah.
where my feelings were on it, if I'm honest.
Yeah. Uh, it's good.
Yep.
It's certainly
I'm.
lightened the mood from the heavy scenes from the last 4 episodes,
Oh yeah.
which is good.
Okay. Well, episode 16 then,
Uh huh.
and the name I have:
Uh huh.
Sacrificial Necrosis.
Sacrificial necrosis. Yep. Check.
Oh, ding 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 ding.
Full house.
We did it.
Yahtzee.
2 in a row. Love it.
Yeah. Don't know why it's different for the rest of them. Anyway, yeah.
See,
So
I feel like, as I was saying, that like that there's the whole thing with Okabe talking to that badge seller who was speaking jive to, and he gets some information from him, and I think the only information he really gets from him is like, oh, he was kind of shaped like a barrel.
yeah,
Eh,
and then
a
Mayuri's
barrel, you
there. It
say?
says
Yeah, Mayuri's there with him.
Taru's is another name for barrel,
Yeah,
which rhymes.
it does. So, oh well. Uh, and then obviously, like, it's not much information to go on. So, uh, I think, is this where he's like, you know, what we should do is go back in time,
Yeah,
and I can find the person.
yeah. I could stop the guy, see what happened because it
This
was
seems
like,
like a great use of the time machine.
oh, you know, I mean, so you just want to make people happy.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh, oh yeah, and Daru's totally hitting on Suzuha as well.
Yep, yep.
Yeah.
I could see the way this was going, and did not enjoy these scenes at all.
Yeah. Anyway, so he's stalking the scene, stalking the guy, and he sees the guy talking to. Oh, that looks like a guy with like a rounded balloon guy. And then he looks at him closer and goes, "Wait a minute, that's Daru. What are you doing, Daru?" Oh, well, I just kind of wanted to give her a memento before she left, type thing.
Yep.
Get that badge made. But
Oh my god.
he couldn't do it with. It'll take him a week to get it done.
Yeah.
And they were like, "Oh, all right, you card. How dare you do that?" And then
Ugh.
it has been. They were talking about future gadgets in the lab, and it was stated that the gadget that they were looking at was version 2.16, something like that. And said, "Oh,
It was the first ever version. Don't break that. It's the only one. But it says it's version 2.16.
yeah,"
Yep. The only one. Why?
because Dara's got a natural flair to names.
Oh, and it's like, is it done at like 2.16L or something, something bizarre like that?
Something like that, A or something.
Oh
Yeah.
god.
Solar. No, I think the last episode actually ended with Susan time traveling, man.
No, no, because this one, they're still building the machine. Because if she'd already time traveled, why would they have got the phone call about the badge?
No, they've done that, and then it goes along because it's not.
No, because they
Oh,
haven't fixed it yet. Because this is the one where he's hitting on her.
yeah, and it says, "Oh, I'll be done by tomorrow," type thing.
Yeah, but there's no. I don't think she time travels in the last episode.
I thought she did.
Because
Because I
she
thought it
time
ended
travels
with
in this one,
I thought
and it's because Daru figures out, because he fixes the time machine,
uh huh.
and they find out that it's only designed to go back, can't go forward.
Yeah, Dara
Because
says
that's
that
a big, yeah. There's a big conversation about how, like, if you go, we'll never see you again,
type thing.
sort of
Yeah,
thing. Yeah,
yeah. So she's
and
saying, her fond farewell on top of the roof.
Well, yeah, but there's also, of course, this is the part where uh the part where Detective Mayuri comes into her own,
Oh yeah,
doing her own thinking,
I think
which
it's
is dangerous, as we found.
yeah. Well, I think Detective Mayuri is here and solved the case, and that's like just as she's about to time travel
Yep.
back. And it's like so. Taru is sounds very similar to Daru's handle
Daru.
online. Who's
Yeah, well, he was
Taru?
shaped like a barrel.
Yeah, Teeter, I think his name was
Uh,
online. Hence why
yeah,
she
and
got
then
called John Teeter. And then
yeah.
she's also been staring at the name. It's like, hey, what's this on the side of the time machine? Oh, that's the name of the time machine.
Well, to be fair, like the thing is that I think that's the missing link, because to start with, it's like, because Taru is like a barrel. He said he was like a barrel, and his name's Daru, and it's Taru, and they're like, that's really tenuous. I don't like. I hope you have more than that. And she's like, oh, and also, like, if you look at the time machine, it has a very distinctive version number. You're like, oh no, that makes sense.
Yeah. That's Future Gadget 204
Oh my
version
god.
2.13B.
And it turns out, of course, that Daru is actually Suzuha's father.
Oh well, at least that's the assumption is still.
Yeah,
Also,
yeah.
Mayuri seems to have looked into like says, oh, they're really good together. They seem to fit together, type thing. And it was
Yeah,
like,
she keeps saying that, and it's really awkward.
what? What do you mean? No, you can't. No, they're not dating. Yeah,
Oh.
and Daru makes the comment of like, so was your mother like super hot?
Yeah, tell me, was your mother smoking hot? And she just laughs.
Yeah,
It's like, God damn it, Daru.
yeah,
It's a relatively like tender moment where you realize, you holy shit, man, you have a daughter, for God's sake.
yeah.
Ugh.
Potentially, maybe have grandkids that he can hit on to.
Oh God,
That
that's
that
okay.
that was a weird thing. So I still think that then she goes back in time.
She does.
Yeah, she goes back in time to 1975, like she's meant to, and then
Well, oh, they give her bike, actually. Sorry, the time machine has just enough room in it to put her bike in it as well.
yeah, so they give her a bike because she loves her bike, uh, as a commemorative
Um,
present. Okabe hikes it up to the where the satellite is. Anyway, yeah, so she goes back in time, and they go back to future gadget, going, "Oh, nothing's changed yet," type thing.
yeah.
Blah blah blah, and then I thought this is where the episode end because there's a knock on the door, and
No,
Mister
this is halfway through this episode. This is Mr. Braun.
can't be halfway through.
It is.
Ah, there's so much more in this episode.
It kind of goes through it quite quickly.
I think. Anyway, yeah. So Mister Braun's at the door and hands them a note from
Yep.
not
The year
the
2000.
yeah yeah oh, yeah because passed away from Suzuha, but she's not
Yep.
called Suzuha. She's called her proper name there.
Oh, I can't remember.
Yeah, like it's Space is
Like,
Suzuha.
yeah.
So they go, "Oh, cool. And then they take it, and then it's just basically a letter apologizing that she's failed her mission.
This properly crushed me.
It's a
Like,
sad ending.
this is a devastating, devastating revelation. Is that, yeah, she was unsuccessful because she went back, and the landing, the something went wrong with the time machine.
The
Um,
there was something not right with the time machine that the lightning caused, and as the stability, and she got knocked out or
Yeah,
lost
she
her
forgot why she
memory.
went. She forgot why she went back.
Yeah,
Essentially,
uh, it's quite
and she
graphic
wasted a
and
number of years.
yeah, she wasted up to like the year 2000 before she remembered.
Yeah.
And it's like I just remembered just the other year, and the reason why I came here. I sorry, I failed, I failed, I failed.
Yeah, over and over and over. Good God.
Yeah, she wrote I'm sorry over and over as well, numerous times. Uh,
Oh.
and then yeah, and then she basically they go down to speak to Mr. Braun and ask, well, they ask her how's she doing, and she says, oh, she passed away to a better place, and they're like, oh, and then also like said that she helped him out when he was in a bad place, so he
Yeah,
honored her will.
I like this is it's so weird because like it's not like because it kind of alludes to like a relationship between those two, but it's not a couple's relationship. It's just like a friendship in a sort of weird, like sort of very reliant way.
Mm.
Um, but I think that the thing that's the I think the worst, because of course as we find out, is that uh, she killed herself is the outcome, and
Yeah,
like that is just like, oh God, I did not enjoy watching this episode at all.
yeah,
That was horrifying. After like it feels like so much, so much effort and build up to just like, and now we're gonna like get you on the path to making this right, like I'd initially intended to, only for it to go so horribly wrong that she takes her own life because of it.
yeah. She, you said, I should have saw it coming. Uh, she wasn't with herself, heavily depressed in her later years,
Yeah,
and
like that last year, which is
yeah,
obviously, I suppose, like when from when she remembered until she stopped it.
yeah,
Um, yeah, it is one of the, I think one of the most heavily laden parts of any story I think we've covered so far.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
just very very heavy in a way that I think very little else has been. Because everything else has sort of like, there's the tinge of sci-fi to this, obviously, with like the sort of rationale and things like that.
mm.
But this was it's tough.
Yeah, yeah. Certainly, they kind of nailed the aspects of it. And then with that notion, there was in the letter she begged Okabe to basically change the past so that she would go back on the day rather than stay behind to find out who her father was.
Yeah.
Uh, and also learn how she's passed. She he basically goes he's going to do it, and then Mayuri is like begging him not to because that would take the fact that she found her father away from her. Um, but Okabe has stated that he has to do this. He just has to
I I'm kind of with him on this one. Like,
because it's
it's a harsh thing to take from someone, but she also forgot.
yeah,
Like, she spent most of that time not remembering that she knew that, and then the grief that caused,
mm,
resulted in her death. And I think like it's just, Yeah, there's I don't even know if there's a question there. That's just, well, we're going to do this because like if she's going to, if something has to happen, if we never get to see her again or however this has to work,
Mm.
it has to make the difference, right? We
Yeah,
can't let her go back and it mean nothing.
yeah, but I don't think that went through his mind as such. I think
You
it
don't
was
think?
more. I think what went through his mind is more is the fact that he was the cause of it, in the sense that he said
Yeah.
he stopped her from going back originally. It's like,
Yeah,
if I
he
didn't,
blames himself.
he blames himself more than the rationality of
Yeah.
like making it more successful. He's like,
I,
I can't let her pass like that.
I think like the thing that hits the hardest in this is that like the you're talking like what 16 episodes of build up to this point for that sacrifice to mean nothing, not a thing. Like that that is quite a gut punch for a show to achieve, I think. um
Yeah, I mean,
I
uh,
definitely was shocked at that.
yeah, I mean, is it 16 episodes of build up? It's not really just been the last four.
Well, I guess it's more just the sort of the, the gradual characterization and like understanding people's motives and the direction for the show and things like that. And it's, you're right, like it's the payoff of like a maybe 4 or 5 episode arc, but like generally it's like, but we're trying to get back to this moment, right? Like we're trying to figure out like how we can, everything links back to that first thing we ever sent. So
Yeah,
how do we figure this out? And then only two, it's like, well, here's the best next step. And it's like, oh, well, actually, this person who has literally sacrificed their own life and future to try and fix this in a way uh, just fell flat. Didn't
yeah,
work.
it totally failed. So Mayuri it says, no, you can't think about all the stuff that she knew. And he's like, no, I got to. So he sends the email. Uh, and then does he go down to speak to Mr. Braun?
He does because he goes to talk to him about Suzaha,
Yeah.
who he's, I think he's shocked that he knows because he's like, wouldn't you have been like, how how do you know her?
Oh,
Uh,
she's an old friend.
yeah, it's like, wouldn't you have been like a kid? And he's like, oh yeah, 8 years old or whatever. Uh, but of course, the thing that we kind of come to realize is that again, uh, she's not there
Yeah.
again.
Yeah,
Uh,
she passed away.
I think like he's in the car with oh, what's his name, Hugo,
Yeah,
uh,
Mr. Braun.
and yeah, and he says to him, he's like, oh, and she killed herself, and he's like, no, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, maybe don't divulge that
Yeah.
tidbit of information without, finding anything else about the timeline you're in. Um, but yeah, and it turns out that she just got sick
Yeah.
and unfortunately passed away.
Yeah, she
Uh,
at the same time.
but he takes Okabe to where they used to live as neighbors, I think.
Yeah, so he said originally they were neighbors, and then
Yeah,
his house burnt down, and then
that's right.
she took him in and basically quibbled about giving him rent and that. Like, you'd
Yeah,
hardly tired taking any rent. Had to fight for that.
he had to force money to her.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
and says, and then he kind of like Okabe stares at like the diversions meter and notices that the numbers has gone up to
yeah.
0.404, I think. Page not found.
It's shifted, but not as
Yeah,
much as they would have hoped.
yeah, it's gone up, but not past point 0.1. And apparently Sousa would stare at that and go, "Has it changed? I don't know.
Yep.
Have we moved on?" Um, and that's that. Is it?
Yeah, I think like because it's the revelation that yeah, it's changed, but what they need to do is more drastic. They need bigger change.
Yeah,
It seems like I guess like because I think the thing is that now the 5100 is probably still in play. It's not it's not gone or destroyed, right? Because the whole point was that she was going to go back and get the IBN 5100, and presumably that's how that happened and ended up at the shrine
uh,
before.
yeah. I think possibly she had links to Ferris's father or something.
Yeah.
Possibly. Oh, we got this is how he convinced Daru to fix the time machine. It's in the last episode he goes, right, I'll give you everything what you want, just fix this machine for me in 48
Oh,
hours. And it's like a whole day date with Ferris. I'll prove this, I'll do it. And he's like, nah, you're pulling my leg. No, I'll do this. And he's like, God
I will
damn, you
make
want
this happen for you.
yeah. God damn, you want this bad.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think the episode kind of ends there where we see that the divergence meter has changed
Mm.
and you know that's hopeful. Maybe it wasn't as much as it might have been under different circumstances, but it's probably good enough.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's hopeful, I think. So, and it also means that her sacrifice, despite the fact that she's still dead, didn't mean nothing.
Yeah. She's certainly things are looking going in the right direction at the moment.
Yeah,
Uh
yeah. I
aye.
like this episode.
It's a good episode. Hit you hard.
Oh,
Not
and
much in it
how
though.
do you rate it? No, well, that's the thing. Like I say, is that it's a very by the book because it starts off with them sort of like coming to the realization that Daru is likely her father, her making the sacrifice to go back.
Mm.
They wait a little bit on the roof, and then you know the Mr. Braun brings the letter round. They find out that it failed. He pretty much immediately decides that the best course of action is to fix that by going back and letting her go when he didn't let her go before, and then it's just seeing the outcome of that. So it goes through a lot of different stuff, but it does it in sort of a quick increments. So
Yeah. Yeah, it does. Anyway, rating it. Um
yep,
Gave me the feels, dude. Gave me the feels. I'm going to say maybe a 10 for me
yep. This is my first 10.
and the season.
Yep, I think it is the first example of like it really sort of pulled the rug out from under you,
Mm.
because even though obviously like things are happening and they're not great,
Yeah.
uh you know there's always sort of a way to fix it, but like obviously like Mayuri being shot is such a horrific thing, and then but then you go through it over and over and over and over, and I think it's just the shock of this should have been simple, right?
Should have
And
been.
wasn't.
No. No, it wasn't.
um yeah,
It's
it's brilliant. It's a really good episode.
yeah, it's good. There's I kind of like the imagery in it when she was saying that sorry and sorry. They had like imagery of her landing and having like a big blood kind of
Yeah.
craze off it, and then they kind of had imagery of her kind of standing and watching people just kind of in lines getting shot out because all she's kind of maybe remembering about the
The
um
future.
totalitarian future where there was a site don't like you
Yeah, it's
troublemaker.
like she was 18 years old when she got sent back.
Oh, when she
And
went back, yeah,
yeah, and you know, that future seems a horrible place where there's a lot of disparity and death and everything, and to go back to find, you know, whatever family she kind of makes of that group,
Mhm.
and then to lose that again after forgetting it for such a long time, and then remembering that you spaced on the only reason you went back in the first place to lose it.
Yeah,
Like it's heartbreaking.
it's harsh.
It's
It's
absolutely
harsh.
heartbreaking.
Um, part in this episode, this Okabe asked her is like, do you hold it against me for holding you back type thing or
Yeah,
something like that. Do you regret staying with us so long? And I think she
yeah.
says no. I think it was like the best time of my years
And
ever.
that's the I think that's the worst part.
Yeah,
That's the worst part is that
right.
actually like the irony is you've condemned her in keeping her, but also given her more in that time.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's such a horrible horrible series of possibilities for her because none of them are particularly incredible. You know, like one she doesn't remember, and then the grief takes over, and then one she does remember, and there's some semblance of success, but she never gets to see her friends again.
yeah. Well, not in not a way that they remember. Who knows? Maybe she saw them kicking about somewhere in Japan.
Maybe, I mean, they would have been maybe 5 or 6 years old.
Yeah, but you never know. Easily,
Yeah, I guess that's the
you know,
thing.
watch
Yeah,
why.
it's I would hope so, but even at that, like I say, it's that she'd formed strong relationships in that
Yes,
time where she would never have even had that opportunity. It's the fact that she's from the future where there's no opportunity to have that.
that's the way it's been sold to us. Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
so it's a real good episode.
yeah, it's it works the highs and the lows and goes really low, like literally sucker
Oh,
punches you.
like the Miura being shot episode, like properly was like, oh my god, what
Yeah,
is happening? And like part of the sort of the shock of that was also taken over by what is happening.
yeah,
Whereas in this one, you kind of had all the pieces of what was happening, and
Hmm.
instead all you were left with was the gut punch. That was
yeah.
all you had. It's like, oh my god,
I'm ready
yeah.
for this. I'm ready.
So
Oh, it's getting all happy again. No, it's not.
yeah, no, I
No,
am absolutely was not ready for this episode. No, it
no.
was yeah. This is like top tier stuff. Love it.
Yeah, yeah. Well,
What a
that's
high.
that. Next week,
Yeah.
we're gonna get some good shit. Maybe is it this next week? Is that where it goes all fucking ape shit?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Yes. Yes, it is.
Shit. Shit goes down.
Oh, big style. Um.
Actually, I like, spoiler alert. We do sometimes watch a bit ahead, and obviously, Colin, you've seen these before, but like the next two episodes are pretty awesome, and I'm really looking forward to talking about those as well. But
Yeah.
that being said, we are at the end of this episode,
Mhm.
uh, which leads me to say that I suppose Who's That Anime is an anime podcast. and can be found at all places where good podcasts can be found. Anchor.fm/Who's That Anime is where our home base is. You can find us obviously at Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Pocket Casts, Overcast, all those places. We don't get paid for this. There's no sort of money involved in anything like that. So we just kind of enjoy watching anime. So if you want to leave us a review, 5 stars would be awesome. Anything less with some constructive criticism would be great too. Obviously, if you wanted to tell a friend if you enjoy what we do, that'd be awesome too. We have a Facebook page. That's facebook.com/Who's That Anime. We post memes and when episode updates go out. We have a YouTube channel where Colin is painstakingly putting together our video components of these episodes. I believe we're going up to Cowboy Bebop soon.
Yes, it's gone live as we recorded.
Incredible.
First 7 acts of our show.
Sweet. So yeah, you can enjoy the video of Cowboy Bebop if you go to youtube.com and look for the channel Who's That Anime. Colin likes to play video games sometimes. You can see that when he's live at twitch.tv/couchfuel.
Oh yeah. I haven't done that in a while. I don't have time.
No, not at the moment. Not at the moment, but you know,
Yeah.
we'll see. But obviously, like we say, there's a good archive of that stuff at YouTube as well. So if you go to youtube.com and look for the channel Couch Fuel, you'll be able to find that there.
Yeah.
I sometimes also like to play games at twitch.tv/HailPayman, mostly horror games, but I don't get as much chance to play as I'd like. But again, there's an archive of my streams on YouTube as well. If you just look for the channel Hail Payman, all of this stuff will be in the show notes and links available there.
Yeah.
And I think that is us.
Yeah, that is. It is. Yeah. So this has been Who's That Anime with your host Stephen Colin. I didn't see that at the start, by the way.
Did you not?
No,
I think you did.
No.
Did we not just stumble over a bunch of bullshit?
We certainly stumbled over a bunch of bullshit. It started
That
with
definitely happened.
me talking about me going out of focus because my camera was autofocused.
Oh shit!
And
That's
I
right.
was saying that we were just going blind, but I did manage to say that the show's name.
You did say the name of the show.
Yeah, just didn't say who the hosts were.
That's fine.
You know what?
It's a late title card.
Yeah, or maybe we've just gone time shifted into the future for the start, and then jumped back. You know, Steins Gate does that, man. Oh,
I have I've realized I'll apologize. I probably sniffed my way through the entirety of this episode because I'm loaded with a cold. But
no, you're all right.
Sweet, kind of escaped it.
Of course, I'm deaf. I'm blind.
I'll maybe be able to cut it and post somehow.
Yeah. I was just remembering Mayuri and her Steiner Gate. Steins Gate. Steiner Gate.
What is it? It's your Steiner sense or something like that. She says it like it sounds. It basically, for some reason, to me, it was like, that thing you have, that erection, sort of almost sounded like your Steiner boner or something like that.
Not quite, man. Not quite.
But it sounded like it just was so far away from what it actually was, but also kind of just a little bit with what it was.
Yeah. Yeah. Aye. Mayuri. She has her reasons. She can sense things are not right. Anyway.
Oh my god.
Yep. Well, that's
We'll be
it.
back. We'll be back next week with more Steins Gate.
Steiner
we're,
Gate.
we're really getting into the meat of it now. So
into the crust.
Yeah. we've gone through the epidermis of the I don't even know. I'm talking about the skin now. Fuck it, let's end this. I don't know what I'm talking about now.
Where's your mind? All right.
I've never known what I was talking about. I should make that clear now. I'm now realizing I don't know what I'm talking about. So we should stop this.
How many lenses have you had?
It's very astute of you. At least 3. So.
Yeah, you go home. You made me drunk.
Fortunately, I'm home and I could just tip to the side once this is done. In fact, I was on a call today and we were talking about caffeine. It's like,
Uh-huh.
oh, I really need two coffees, and I was like, well, I'm a coffee and a lemsip, and so maybe I'm all right because there's caffeine in these lemsips, right? It's like there's a lot of caffeine in those lemsips. It's like, oh no.
Oh, Jesus.
Is that why everyone else has been in slow motion today?
Yes.
Whoopsie daisy.
Oh, well. Right. Anyway, we'll catch you same place, anime time, same anime place, same anime when next week.
Same anime how. Do do do.
Bye.
Bye, folks.
How's it hanging? I'ma bust out some questions, yo, so holla at your boy! Word to your mother.
Sorry, I don't speak jive.
Well, that was nice and awkward. I have a button that I want you to ID. Have you seen this before? Or if you don't recognize it, then perhaps you know someone who would?
Nah, it isn't ringing any bells. Sorry. I wish I had something I could tell you.
I can't believe you just said word to your mother to this guy, you freak.
Look, if you remember, please don't hesitate to call. Maybe the pen simply doesn't exist yet. There's nothing to say it couldn't be made in the near future.
Yeah, I guess. Well, it's okay. Maybe it just wasn't meant to be, you know? Hey, at least we tried.
So you're throwing in the towel? Just like that, with a full day left?
Why are you
Listen,
getting so...
saving Mayuri's life is my absolute top priority. But you are a lab member, and I intend to help you out. Damn it, that's just what friends do for one another. But if you've already given up, then what's the point of even trying?
Hey, you don't have to yell about it.
Huh?
Wow.
Sorry.
Attention! Attention! Your help
What
is
in
needed, citizens!
hell's...
There was a kidnapping yesterday, right near here! The kidnapper was wearing a pin just like the one on my flyers. If you could give it a look, it'd be a big help. Ocarine, you're here! Looky what I made!
Colorful.
Flyers are a pretty good idea, huh? I was thinking about everything real hard, and then it just kind of hit me. Woo! And that's when I grabbed my markers and got to work. I think I'll call it Operation Attention, Someone Got Kidnapped.
Advertising a bogus kidnapping might be taking things overboard.
What are you gonna do when the police take notice of this little show run? Never mind, time to go.
How come?
Stop!
I'm sorry, Ocarine.
From this moment on, how about you run all your plans by me first, yeah? Just to be on the safe side.
What's with the kung fu?
Never hurts to be prepared, that's all.
I'm glad I found you guys. I got some terrible news out there.
Go on.
When I went to buy lunch, I overheard 2 of the shop clerks gossiping. I'm sorry, Suzuha, but I think your dad might have kidnapped somebody.
Huh?
Wait, what? What's so funny, huh?